Afternoon and welcome. This is the midweek hump day devotional for Zwingli UCC in Monticello, Wisconsin. I'm Pastor Lance Smith, and we're here today, the first real fall day. Yesterday was the first day of fall, yesterday afternoon. It's interesting that we have these seasons, and what makes it the first day of fall? Why does fall start on the 22nd of September? It's because this is the time that the sun is directly over the equator in the fall. We have 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. Of course, being being fond of Genesis, I remembered the first verse of Genesis. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and earth, the earth was formless and void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while the wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning on the first day. I guess today's the first real day of fall. It's the first day after the equinox. I love this book of Genesis that tells this story of creation. I think we as a society have missed a lot of things in that story. There's a lot of subtleties in that book that are trying to tell us something about life even today. There's much to be learned from that ancient story of how the world began and how we came to be. This is the first book in the love story that got between a God and his people, a love story between a loving parent and his children. I love how the first chapters are so basic. God's creating light and darkness and establishing the length of days. First thing. Most likely because that's the basis for all energy on this planet. Everything that you get energy from, everything that we get energy from, anything that gets energy or has energy gets it from the sun, either directly or indirectly. Either we get it from green plants, or green plants make it for us, or we get it from animals that get their energy from green plants. When I was working in the environmental education programs, I used to take a dollar bill and I'd stick it out, wave it in front of the kids' faces and say, if you can think of one thing that you eat that you get energy from that you can't trace to the sun, I'll give you this dollar. Of course, I'd get all these answers like vitamins and water and meat. Well, wait a minute. Meat is animals, and animals eat green plants, and animals that eat green plants. And green plants get their energy from the sun. So ultimately, all energy comes from the sun. They said, well, what about the power in the power lines and stuff? What about electricity? I said, yeah, what about electricity? How's it made? Well, we burn coal and make steam. Well, wait a minute. Coal is dead plants, ancient dead plants that got their energy from the sun. What about oil? Dead animals that eat plants that get their energy from the sun. Hydroelectricity, that's it, hydroelectricity. And I'd hand the dollar bill to that smart young man and get almost to him and then get, oh, now wait a minute. Where does hydroelectricity come from? And he'd say, the water falling down the mountain and running downstream and running across the turbine makes the electricity. I said, well, how did the water get up in the sky? Evaporation. And what powers evaporation? The sun. We can't get away from the sun. One environmental ed teacher calls it sonship Earth. That's what we are. We're sonship Earth. Every bit of energy that we have comes ultimately from the sun. It's interesting how we insignificantly go through our days, and there's a line in a song that Willie Nelson sings that living's just something that I do. Sometimes we go through life like that. We don't even realize what a miracle it is to have the sun shine. And that angle of the sun on our planet makes the seasons, makes things grow, adds life back into the soil. What a miracle. just to be here and just to be able to talk to you. There's about a bajillion miracles going on. And here we are, the first day of fall. Going to be a lot of leaves to rake this year. It's going to be a bumper crop this year. And it seems like, there's more acorns and more fruit and more stuff on the ground this year. And it seems like as the darkness progresses through the day too, as the days get shorter, we're going to maybe get a little more depressed when we think about the prospect of winter, the long darkness of night. But we need to remember that we are what we eat. We are what we're made from. You're just stardust put together by loving hands of God. Think about that a minute. Think about how important stardust is to the everything that we know in existence. You are a child of God, and you are loved. I hope today that you go out and use that stardust and that love to make this planet a better place. Have a great day.